That's it. Big boss in the house.
That's it. That's it.
So tell us, Theo, how's your life on the lockdown? How are you doing?
Yeah, not too bad. Obviously missing the classes and stuff. Missing all the guys at training. But you know, doing home workouts at the moment. I'll just show you our little gym here. We've got like a few weights and a few things here, just to keep moving and keep active.
Yeah, that's it, man. You're lucky you have the gym there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have like some little TRX, the
Oh,
suspension
they're good.
training.
Yeah, yeah.
It's good, but it's all right. It gets a bit boring after some time.
Yeah.
There's just so much you can do. And
It's good, but it's not like going to jiu-jitsu or doing something else. It's not the same.
yes, that's it. It's just like like just remedy, just like to keep us doing some movements.
Moving, otherwise you go stiff.
Yeah, I got a chin up by the door, so slowly, we just get like some equipment,
Yeah,
but it's just not the same. It's tricky, isn't it?
yeah, definitely, definitely.
Yes, it's and how often do you train on your gym there?
So like sort of a few times a week or whatever. The main training we do actually is on a Saturday morning, and we have Big James Baker. I don't know if you've met him. He
Yes.
comes down and he puts us through a routine, and afterwards, you're finished. You've got nothing left.
Yeah.
Nice to still have that feeling every week of being just finished, just having nothing left in your tank.
Yeah, that's something that I really miss from the jiu-jitsu, isn't it? Because when you finish the jiu-jitsu lesson,
Yeah.
that's the feeling you have. Like you're just like, oh, done. That's it. There's no more. There's
Yeah.
no chance to do any other workout
There's always
afterward.
someone that calls you to spar again when you're feeling like that.
That's it. Usually it's tubes.
Yeah.
Tubes is like the last one on the mat, and then just come on, you're not going home. Let's
Yeah.
just do one more. So it's just we miss it, but it's part of the process, isn't it?
Of course, of course. I'm sure, hopefully it's not going to be much longer, I hope.
Yeah, it seems like we're gonna be back
Yeah.
soon. It's just some places are back already, so
Yeah, of
we
course.
just
Yeah.
I think they're a bit concerned because the number of deaths that they had here in UK.
But definitely. Yeah, it's very high.
Yes.
Very, very high.
So they're very cautious now towards the end. I think that at the beginning they were thinking, we'll be okay,
Yeah.
and then now they just like the reverse.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, yeah. It's true. It's true.
yes, man. And tell us about your martial arts journey. How did it
Ah,
start?
okay. Yeah. So I started Thai boxing when I was 10, and how it came about. My dad looked up a local club to where we lived, and he took me and my sister. My sister's a little bit younger, and that was my introduction sort of into martial arts. And we stuck with it for a long, long time. My dad did as well. He was training for a long time, and obviously I teach now from the time how much I've been training. But that was my introduction, and then when I must have been around 22, 23, I think that's when I met Rick. And again, talking about James, it was Big James who introduced me to the class.
Yeah.
I come down, like come and try the jiu-jitsu, and I said, okay, yes. Like I was interested, I didn't know anything about it, but I had the background of training the Thai boxing, and I got there, I did the class, and just got beaten up by everyone, and I thought, wow, this is really, really good stuff. I've done martial arts for so long. That there was an element in the jiu-jitsu that I'd never covered in my martial arts, and from that time on, I sort of stuck with it, and and really, really fun, really different style, you know, different exercises, different movements of the body, and it's great, and lucky to find such a great team as well, you know, at the
That's,
time.
yeah, it makes a big difference,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, the guys. It's when you have a good team, it just motivates you to go to the gym. Not it like some days, like just before the lockdown. Some days I was like, oh, I'm not sure if it's gonna be training, but I was feeling like going there anyway, just to see the guys, and
yeah, of course.
and
Yeah,
then once you're there, you just like start training. So it's just that's the way it motivates, isn't it?
yeah, definitely, definitely.
Yeah. And what about competitions, Theo? Have you ever done many competitions?
Yes, so I've done quite a few different competitions. Obviously, with the Thai boxing, I was very lucky to have a lot of fights. So I fought for a British title. Actually, it was like 2 weeks after first starting jiu-jitsu, believe it or not, and I fought for a British title in Elephant and Castle, and that was on Sky Sports. So, but this was a long time ago. I mean, I'm talking many years ago. And then I had a few other Muay Thai fights because I was in the heavyweight category. It's an open category, and at the time, it's not necessarily easy to find the heavyweight. So I would travel around to different places and fight. And then obviously with the jiu-jitsu, we did many sort of competitions and stuff. And yeah, it was just good fun. Very, very different type of thing. But yeah, very good. Really enjoyed it.
And how do you find the competitions? How do you find to get on the right mindset for the competition?
Yeah, so it's a very good question actually, because the mindset for the two different, you know, fights are very different. So with the jiu-jitsu, I tend to just try and be very calm and try and like have my brain engaged into what I need to do to win the competition, or to score the points or to use techniques. But often that changes the moment you sort of have grabbed each other. All that sort of stuff changes, and then with the striking fighting, with like Muay Thai, it's quite different. Like you have to deal with your nerves of going into the ring, and I didn't really feel that with the jiu-jitsu, but with the striking I do feel that with and MMA as well. I feel the nerves a little bit, and you have to try and like get yourself into a zone where you're still controlling yourself and not looking at yourself from the outside, you know. So it's very different feelings, very different.
And which one do you think is the hardest to?
Oh, I mean, they're all hard. Let's be
Yeah.
honest. You're training all the time for it. You know, you're taking it serious. They're all going to be hard. They're all going to be.
Yeah, but the Muay Thai, I think like the kicks and the punches on it, I'm just like scare
Yeah,
me a little bit more,
yeah.
I would say.
It's yeah. I mean, it's different because you're having to go, you know, like head to head with someone,
Yeah,
and you're basically punching and kicking each other and trying to outskill each other with the techniques as well as just, you know, power and everything else. Where I feel jiu-jitsu is like, you know, you have to be super technical, and you might make a mistake and it might just be quickly finished. Boom, you know, like if the guy is your level and you're both really good, you know, it can go either way.
that's it. Yeah, that's one point that I really think like if the guys are the similar level, it can be. It's like depends of the day, isn't it? But
Yes, definitely, definitely, yeah, yeah.
yeah, it's a moment. And when you go to the fight, T, what's the feeling you have on your head? Like, do you feel about kill the opponents, or do you feel just like about, okay, just gonna hurt them a little bit?
Do you know, I'm one of those people who I don't get angry. I don't have that side of with the aggression, and maybe that might hold people back, because you do need that. You do need that in any combat sport. You do need some aggression. But I've always been like quite calm, but like always trying to control my level of nervousness. You know, like just keeping it in check all the time, because I'm that type of person.
Yeah. We had like Mr. Intense here with one of the first lives.
Yeah, that guy, he's angry.
He's angry.
Goes into fights, he's switched on. You know, he's like, he has one mission, and that is to destroy the guy. You know,
That's it. He's really like on the edge. And talking about that, we have the end game as well, like Harry, which is a very sweet, very nice
yes,
guy.
yeah,
But
yes,
then when he step in the cage, he just like go
yeah,
in the zone.
just switches it on. You know, yeah,
Yeah, I think it's something very. I'm also very chilled. So when I think it's something that it's better if you can have that feeling too, especially for fighting. I think it's just
yeah,
sometimes you just like feel like, okay, that's all right. I take this one as a win. Like, and maybe if you had that fighting thing, you probably would go a little bit further. I would
yeah.
go probably.
I think it does make a difference for combats, for all sports. You know, you could be the same level, the same technique, but the guy's going to win is the guy who really wants to win, has the aggression behind him and everything channeled right to win. So you've got to have that. It's important, I think.
Yeah, that's it. Look, Tan just said like
Oh yeah,
Jobs is is a
very scary.
scary man. He's a scary man. He's just like, whoa. It's another level. It's the top the intensity. Like it
Yeah,
he even said sometimes he should be he should think a little bit more about tactical games and things like that.
yeah,
And a lot of the fighters they said it. Like even Rose as well mentioned
yeah,
that he done that he probably should be able to deal this motion both ways. So maybe we have myself that will be one way too calm, and then these
yeah.
guys that they're too intense. Isn't it?
No, it's true. And I suppose the art of it all is to balance everything. You know.
Yeah, that's the main thing. And on this matter, what's your favorite part of the training? Either
I
Muay Thai or Jiu Jitsu. What do you like most?
I think for me, I really enjoy the sparring aspect, the putting into practice what you've been learning, and I think a lot of people like that. And I think that's why it's such a, you know, you get all the technical stuff out of the way. You get your exercise at the beginning out of the way, your fitness, and you get to the end of the class, and then you test everything. And I think that's the most enjoyable bit.
Yes. And as a teacher, because you teach the Muay Thai lessons, what do you think the students they should be focused more during the training? What would be?
Oh, so I mean, and I'm sure Rick probably has the same thing, but it's just when you're taught something, even if it's the most basic thing, just practice it, because it's the doing that one thing over and over again that will make you really, really good at it. And then when you need to use it, it's perfect for when you need to use it. But it's hard when you start learning a martial art. You want to learn everything. You want to learn, you know, a spinning jump kick, or you know, like a certain elbow, or when really you could just sit back and work on, say, like 3 punches, just, you know, for a while until it's perfect, and then move on to the next thing.
Yeah, that's it. Building up step by step in
Yeah,
progression.
exactly.
Yeah, I really I feel like that. Like sometimes I try to do positions and it's completely out of my comfort zone. I just try and then it doesn't matter like how much I try to twist and bend, and it's some
Yeah,
as we experience the martial arts, you can feel like sometimes when you're out of your when I am out of my comfort.
yeah,
Some of the positions I don't have the base, and then you see it, you're just like, oh yeah, I couldn't do it.
yeah. Of course.
Yeah, that's it. And from the training, from the jiu-jitsu side of it, do you like more the gi or no gi? Which one you like most?
That's a good question. Uh, in the summertime, obviously no gi's fantastic. And then obviously in the winter time, gi's back. But personally, you know, I think you learn more from gi. I really do. Even transferring it over to the no gi, I do think you learn a lot more with the gi. And I think it really helps, you know, all of your grappling, really.
Yeah, yeah, because it's a bit slow as well, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it kind of makes you have to think. No-gi can be super fast, and again, you're moving around. But with the gi, like you say, it tends to slow things down a little bit and force you to think about your next move and what you're trying to do and stuff with your opponent.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's true. I really find it like a very, very good. Like because, as I said, like for me, if I have more time to think, it's easier to think about when you someone that deal with reflex. So when you have already the game, so probably
Yeah,
it's easier to to do the no-gi. But when you start to build, still building up some kind of game, like for
yeah.
me, I find like if I think about the next step, one step at a time gives some advantage, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah, that's true actually, and I think also with Nogi being a bit faster, that if, like you said, if someone is on top of you and moving really quickly and pushing you, and then you wind up just defending, that's when you generally make a mistake, or you know you're then not thinking about what you should be doing to attack them or sweep them or whatever. So, I mean, yeah, the gi does really slow things down, I think, sometimes for that.
Yeah, and
Unless you're rolling with Rick or Ramon,
it doesn't matter then if it's if
time,
you have the
time
gear or not, it would be hard.
down, yeah, it's
That's it. And what's the toughest fight you ever had, T?
okay. So one of them was uh, a guy called Christian Knowles. He was ranked #1 in heavyweight Muay Thai at the time when I fought him. When I fought him for the British title, and he'd had, you know, a lot of experience, a lot of fights, and he was just a tough, just a tough guy. You know, a big tough guy with skill, and he was a tough fight. I think technically he probably pushed me the furthest. I think the hardest I've ever been hit was probably I fought a guy called Daniel Sam, a ringmasters event. So it was like a knockout K1 competition, and unluckily I had him in the first round. So it was either me or him who was going to move on to the next round, and yeah, he hit hard, but he went on to go and fight in Glory and a few other things. So yeah, he did really well.
Yeah, that's and one question, like because you're not a small like me, you're quite a big guy as well. So, but how do you feel sparring with the big guys? Like, because Nova Force is a team that we have quite a big guys and strong guys there. So,
Yeah,
how do you find
yeah.
sparring with those guys there, Nova Force?
Yeah, no, you're right. We do have some big guys there, and yeah, they're all tough. Like, and especially like, Justin is a great example. You know, he's big, but he's now developed all this technique with it, and it can feel suffocating if you know, it's with the size and the technique. You know, if you it gets on top of you, you can really feel it. You know. But then in the other side of things, it's like with the smaller guys like you guys, if you're moving around at like 100 mile an hour, technique to technique, they can be really tough as well.
Yeah, I think I said a few times already about the pressure game. So the
Yeah,
guys, those guys, like they just put the pressure on, and then you just like,
yeah,
unless you're very agile, like
oh,
very
yeah,
flexible,
of course. But truly, if you use your body weight with the technique and you feel the pressure pushing down, it can feel suffocating. You know.
yeah, that's it. And have you ever had to tap because you were like smashed instead of submitted, but
Uh,
you will feel like a
there's
smashed?
always a time where you're absolutely either tired or the guy's just got the better of you, and you're like, "What can I do?" There's always a time you tap. If you don't tap, I don't think you're learning.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. That's it. And which one would be would you would say that was the partner, training partner that always like grow with you and was challenging you and you were getting better and he was getting better? Someone that you enjoy spar with. Who would be this?
So that's a really good question, because I feel like I've got really good training from everyone. Not like just trying to get out of the question, but like, so when I roll with the smaller guys like Mark Stevenson, the black belt, he's so quick and so technical, and I have to try to move with him, otherwise I just get caught. So there's like, I learned so much from there. But then, like you say, with the big guys, like Tubes is really good, like got great technique, long legs, so like don't go into his triangle, like things like that. But then you so that's what I mean. That's how I mean, like, you can learn from everyone because their styles are all different as well. So yeah, it's I think the team that we have really helps with that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I agree 100%. Different styles and different
Yeah, definitely.
techniques. Yeah,
Shapes, everything.
that's it. And who is your favorite fighter, like overall from all the fighters,
So, all-time
all
favourite
time? Yeah,
would be Elemenko Fedor, and not because I think he was like the most technical or anything like that. I just enjoyed watching him fight in Pride. I just really enjoyed watching him. And for a heavyweight, he was really small heavyweight, but he always managed to do crazy stuff where he would come back from literally like he'd be dead, and he'd just come back from the dead. And he was an entertaining fighter, and I quite enjoyed his whole mentality to a fight. He wasn't someone that would be shouting, and like you see nowadays, a lot of the guys that they're calling each other names. They're doing things like this. Whereas he was just like, he went in to do the fight. He has the fight. He leaves. There was no, he just wanted to fight. So I quite enjoyed that.
and everybody was the guy that everybody wants to beat. Everybody that would go to fight like a mixed martial arts, they want to beat him. He was like a reference, like he was the top of the
Yeah,
chain, isn't
definitely.
it? I remember all the Brazilians. They were like they really want to fight against him because once if they win, it would be like the
Oh, of
breakthrough.
course. I mean, the prime example of that was who was it? He fought in Strike Force as one of his last fights. He fought Fabricio Verdum, and
Fabrício Verdun,
yeah,
yeah.
and Fabricio got him in a triangle. But even not, you could see the respect after. Fabricio was like, I fought this guy. He was a legend, and it was nice to see. It's nice to see in sport like that.
Yeah, that's it. And T, going further now, what would be your plans if we take 2022 out of the equation?
Yeah.
2020 out of the equation. We go already for 2021. So what would be your plans going ahead? Like what?
Going ahead, two main things I really want to work on. One is my jiu-jitsu. I really want to get back into jiu-jitsu, training hard, learning more. And then the other thing is like with my students, I really want them to progress. I want them to. They've been doing really well, and I want them to keep being motivated and keep moving forwards. Because I'd like to, keep trying to pass my knowledge on.
Yeah, I remember just before the lockdown, I saw you on the gi class
Oh,
in
yeah,
the evening, wasn't it?
yeah.
You just said, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna dedicate a little, go back to the gi training," and then they closed the gym.
Yeah, it's just one of, yeah, it was unlucky, but it's, I've had quite a long run of not really training consistently, and I need to be in that consistency again, because it's the only way you can really develop.
Yeah, that's it. So we're gonna be back. We're gonna be back
Oh,
and strong. Yeah. And there's a question that I always ask, and Tan already said there that he would choose Dean to fight for him on the pub. So if
oh,
there's a breaks a fight in the pub,
yeah.
and you have to choose three guys to help you, but cannot be Rick, cannot be Baker,
Okay.
and cannot be Justin, who would you call?
It's a good question. That is a good question. Do you know what? To be fair, I could probably walk in the gym on any day and find three guys that I know are going to be good. Like, in all fairness, because there's so much, good talent in the team. I could probably just randomly pick three people, and I think I'd be okay. Also, we all have this great bond with the gym. It's really nice. Not that I'm trying to avoid the question, but honestly, Steve, there's a lot of people in there. I mean, I think okay. So I'd have Ramon.
Ramon, yeah,
Because he's got endless energy. He's just a monster, and he's physical, like age and physical fitness is great. I'd need a really small guy, so maybe Mark. Mark would be good, yeah, because then he can get in underneath and he'll hook everyone, and, and then well, maybe Mr. Intense.
yeah.
Maybe we get him in
Scare
there.
everybody.
That would be good, and he can just start throwing.
He would scare everyone, like, we'll finish the fight, that's it.
Yeah.
And tell us, have you ever done any trip like a Thailand or Brazil, anywhere like to train?
Yes, yeah. So, been to Thailand to train. It's a really good experience. Another great experience was being able to go with Rick to Brazil and to train in Brazil, and it was a really nice experience, like a really once in a lifetime thing that I really enjoyed. Not just for the training. I got to meet all of Rick's family, which was amazing. They were so lovely. They looked after us so well. And then we got to train at all the Nova Forza gyms there. I got to meet the other black belt instructors there at the time. I mean, I was only a blue belt then, so it was quite a long time ago. And then the best thing was I got to see Rick get his black belt there, and
Wow.
so it's one of those memories that I will always have forever. And I hope one day, like, it'd be nice to go back again, and do training. It's very different. Like, same being in Thailand when the weather's different and it's very very hot and everything feels different. You over here in the winter, it can be quite hard to train with your body because you have to warm up so much. You
Yeah,
get injuries so quickly because it's so cold.
that's it. Oh, that's amazing, man. So you saw Rick getting his black belt.
It was really really good, really good. And I also, because at the time when he'd gone there, he was a brown belt at the time, and but I got to see him roll with some really good black belts, and I actually, could see how good he is. It was a great experience. I loved it, absolutely loved it, and it's one of my top memories.
Yeah, man. And then this question you cannot avoid. So this one is like,
Okay,
except Rick, which one would be the guy from Nova Força that you would dread to find in a competition, to fight against?
right.
Yeah.
Probably, I think it's probably got to be Edge. Um, Edge he, he's a scary human genetic monster. I mean, he's like so strong, so fit. His technique's great. I think he'd be really tough.
That's it, yeah. He's just he's really he can be more intense than Mr. Intense.
Yeah, definitely. I remember like rolling with him, and like we were talking about like the pressure, but he has the pressure and the speed as well. and the strength and everything combined, and you're rolling with him, and you're thinking, oh, you know, is he going to slow down ever? You know, and if you have that, I suppose, in maybe like an MMA fight, yeah, Jesus, that would be scary, I think.
Yeah, man. Oh, Tia, thank you very much, man, for coming.
No
But
problem.
before anything, just tell us about your podcast as well. I was checking it on the
Oh, okay,
internet.
yeah. So it's the Angry Monkey versus the Aggressive Toad. We've got a few podcasts up on YouTube, but we haven't done many in a while because the place that we were recording them in basically shut down. So we need to find a new venue really to do some recording. But yeah, it was just basically talking to fighters. Got a few good podcasts with some fighters from the gym and stuff like that. So yeah, it's a good podcast.
Yeah, I like it. I was looking at the YouTube and I saw a couple of them and it was very nice. It was very good. Yeah, very inspiring. Yes.
Yeah.
Hopefully you can see more after the lockdown.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd like to get that back up and running. So we'll see how things go.
Yes, that's it. And T, what would be your words of wisdom to the Nova Força team? So what would you tell the guys that are watching us now and gonna watch us later?
I think everyone goes to the gym if they don't know anything or if they know a little something, but they go there to learn. And in order to learn, sometimes you just have to be humble. Sit back. Don't be afraid to ask, questions. If there's something that you don't understand, don't be afraid to ask questions. But more importantly, once you've been shown something, just try it, practice it. Don't be afraid to, I think sometimes when you're rolling or even when you're sparring in the Muay Thai, you're afraid to do stuff because you're just thinking about the sparring. But you should just do it. It doesn't matter. That's the place to learn. That's why we do it. That's why we go there every week.
That's it. Yeah. I mean, thank you so much, Theo. Thank you for your time.
Enjoyed it.
Thank you for accepting the invite and I cannot wait for us to all be back to the gym.
Yes,
again. I won't gonna promise I'm gonna go to your Muay Thai class because some of the guys said that I cannot get too many punches and kicks anymore, but but we can meet at the Jiu-Jitsu class.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, yeah, that'd be lovely.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you. And keep watching us there. It will be a pleasure sending some questions and helping us.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Cheers. Have a lovely evening, brother.
And you.
Have a lovely evening, guys. Thank you. Us.